Kia ora. I wish to give all my colleagues a Happy New Year. I hope they had a good time with their whānau. I'd like to thank all the members and supporters of the Green Party who sent us here in record numbers just over a year ago. So today, Mr Speaker, we heard the Prime Minister give a statement to Parliament which kicked off his 5th year at the helm of New Zealand. And what did John Key focus on? What was he focused on? Well, it was quite simple, Mr Speaker. He was trying to get a laugh instead of trying to get Kiwis a job. Mr Speaker, we heard from the government that the direction's going to be quite simply business as usual. But Mr Speaker, for our usual businesses, they're plainly struggling through the lowest growth we've seen in this country in 50 years. Oddly, Mr Speaker, on Planet Key, there's more talk about the Green and Labour parties than there is about the National Party or its record. So 5 years on, under the helm of John Key, where's the plan? Where's the vision? Where's the jobs? Because 5 years on, already we can see that the Key government's resorting to excuses, fear and scaremongering in its attempt to hold on to power. The Key government's looking tired, it's looking defensive, it's constantly looking for distractions. Mr Speaker, the Key government may have given up on making our country a better place, but we know New Zealanders haven't. New Zealanders want visions, they want solutions, not the excuses and distractions we hear from the front bench of the National Party. You can see it in the debate around mining and the environment, which has been touched on a bit this evening. This term, the government's moved to an extreme anti-environmental position as if they're trying to look as if they're busy and active creating jobs, from wrecking the ETS to walking out of Kyoto, to actually declining marine reserves, to watching the Maoi's dolphin go extinct, from intensifying dirty dairy to attacking freshwater scientists. This government's moved from just talking and lip service about the environment to actively undermining it this term. Mr Speaker, you could bring back 20 blue-green Nick Smiths into the National Party cabinet, but none of it would greenwash the active anti-environmental stance they've taken under John Key this term. You can see it in deep-sea oil drilling, the huge promotion, the subsidies, the tax exemptions, the low royalties. It's symptomatic of the government's lazy approach to economic development. Look, there's a huge list of things the government could be doing to support our Kiwis and get our country working again, but they'd rather sit on their hands and hope that some foreign oil company drills for our oil, risks our environment, but will send their profit offshore. Sure, the government may get some royalties, but with the 4th lowest rate in the world, not much. Sure, there might be a handful of jobs, but given it's the lowest job-creating sector in our economy, not much. There might be lesser jobs for New Zealanders. But we know, given this government's changed the immigration laws that foreign oil workers can skip through immigration, we know not much. Sure, there might be some taxes, but given the pages and pages of tax exemptions and write-offs, there won't be much to the Crown. So what we know is, for all the environmental risk, we're going to see hardly any jobs, hardly any taxes, hardly any royalties, and all those profits are simply going to flow offshore. Surely it's not the smartest plan for our country, Mr Speaker. It's lazy economics. There's no plan, there's no innovation, there's no creativity. It's simply hoping someone else will find some oil, will drill it, mine it, frack it, and they'll pay us a pittance for the pleasure. But Mr Speaker, what happens when it's gone? And why don't we do that now, instead of waiting till it's gone? But, you know, the hope and pray that oil's there and someone finds its plans in tatters. And what we know is the former minister has gone the way of Petrobras, he's gone the way of Anadarko, he's gone the way of Apache, and none of them, Mr Speaker, are going to be seeing New Zealand oil drilled this year. Mr Speaker, the clean economy the Greens have been talking about, that's what's providing hope to New Zealanders. That's what they're looking for in terms of vision. That's what international leaders are talking about. That's what economists are talking about. It's what the business leaders, the successful business people behind the Pure Advantage. This offers a real alternative to what we heard today from the Prime Minister. Mr Speaker, a clean economy wouldn't be putting our beaches at risk. It's those beaches, I think, which is iconic of summer, iconic of our country. You know, summer in New Zealand means beaches, barbecues, sun and sand, but it's our beaches that are directly under threat from this lazy reckless gamble approach to economics. I hope members had a great opportunity to spend some time on some beaches this summer. Late last year I launched a competition, bestbeaches.org.nz, where Kiwis can vote for their most loved beach. Mr Speaker, so far we've got Kaiteriteri in front with over 1,400 votes, followed by Ahopi and the Mount. But I guess the Mount is an interesting one, being third, because it is one of those beaches that has experienced oil washing on it, both from the arena and the slow response we saw from Maritime New Zealand. For them in the Mount, oil on the beaches isn't an academic theory. It's tangible, it's something they've seen, it's something they've touched, it's something they've smelt. And they don't want to see oil on their beaches ever again. Just around the corner, Mr Speaker, in the Pegasus block, just off Wellington's coast, we've got the very same company that had a 25% stake in the Deepwater Horizon blowout explosion and oil spill, prospecting nearly 3 kilometres deep. That's nearly twice as deep as the Deepwater Horizon. So the plan, the lazy approach, is putting our beaches at risk. But there's a better way, Mr Speaker. What we need is a smart green economy. A smart green economy wouldn't risk our environment for a quick buck. It would put the environment at the heart of our economic vision. A smart green economy wouldn't throw our thriving IT industry and software industry under the bus, as they say they are with the government's patent reforms, and as they stand by passively as we still lack a second internet cable. A smart green economy wouldn't give up on our manufacturing sector. It would support them through driving down the pressure on the New Zealand dollar. It would support them with greater R&D, better skills training and incentives to export. Mr Speaker, a smart green economy definitely wouldn't stand by as we see 40,000 manufacturing jobs disappear in the last 4 years. So in summary, Mr Speaker, the Prime Minister has given his speech, which will fail to inspire anyone in this House or anyone outside. That tired, old, business-as-usual approach is failing our economy, our environment, our people. This year the Greens are going to step up. We are fighting for decent jobs, the elimination of child poverty and the defence of our environment. We're going to do this through generating fresh thinking, new ideas, through building a movement of people to stop the worst of the government's agenda. We haven't given up. We're never going to give in. We're in for the future.
Mr Speaker. Tim McIndoe.
Mr Speaker, it is a great pleasure to rise